Let's turn now to our chief Washington correspondent and the host of This Week, George Stephanopoulos, for more on this story. The bottom line on all of this. Good morning, George.
Good morning, Kate.
So you heard Congressman Reyes not commit there to having hearings, but what's your barometer? How big a deal could this be?
My guess is this is going to be investigated. This is now the third revelation we've had on this program this week. First, we found out that CIA Director Leon Panetta discovered the program, was angry about it, and shut it down. We learned that from Democrats earlier in the week on the committee. And then this New York Times report this morning that said that Leon Panetta told the Intelligence Committee that it was Dick Cheney who ordered that this program be kept secret from the Congress. I think it's really difficult for that kind of a charge to stand out there without at least having some kind of a preliminary investigation. So I think it's very likely you're going to see some sort of investigation by the intelligence committees. I think you're also going to see, we learned this morning from Newsweek magazine, and I confirmed this with my own sources in the administration, that Eric Holder, the Attorney General, is likely to launch an investigation into whether there was abuse of detainees, whether there was torture of detainees, whether laws were broken during the Bush years as well. Now, they are not going to investigate CIA officials who are following the laws, the guidance they were given, but if there were any CIA officials who went outside of the guidance or other interrogators who went outside of the guidance during these interrogations, that's going to be investigated now as well.
That's a new door open there. Nancy Pelosi's come under a lot of fire for making those comments that she was misled by the CIA about waterboarding. Do these latest charges this morning vindicate her at all?
I spoke with the Speaker Pelosi's office about that, and they don't want to use the word vindication, but clearly it does bolster their case that on several occasions they were either misled or not given relevant information that the Congress was supposed to have.
Let's change gears here a little bit. The president just back from Africa overnight, but already he's got an op-ed in the Washington Post this morning about the economy. What does that tell us about the pivot that he has to make now?
Well, it tells us that while the president was overseas and he received a pretty rousing reception in many of his meetings, that there's increasing worry, especially among his own allies on Capitol Hill, about the economy, about that rising unemployment and the need perhaps for a second stimulus plan, about health care. Health care kind of stalled a little bit this week in the Senate, at least while the president was away, and it's looking less likely that the Senate is going to meet the president's August recess. So the president trying to come back and both counsel patience on the economy, but also his commitment to going full speed ahead on his broad domestic agenda, despite the fact that some are calling for him to scale it back in the face of this recession. And
a big week ahead. I know you're talking on your show this morning about Judge Sotomayor and her confirmation hearings beginning tomorrow. Do you think it'll be heated?
Hard to know. I mean, I think this has been going pretty much according to plan for the White House over the last several weeks. Judge Sotomayor has met with 89 senators, seems to have beaten back a lot of the criticism even before the hearings began, although, you know, you can always be surprised by the actual hearings. It does look like Republicans don't have the votes to stop Judge Sotomayor or to have a filibuster, but there have been surprises in past hearings. I wouldn't rule any out this time either.